Good morning, everyone. Dr. Victoria Scarbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today is the 26th of July, and it's a Tuesday. Happy birthday, Mick Jagger. The moon is in Cancer today, and it does make a couple of interesting aspects. It squares Jupiter. It's a first quarter crisis in action square. So personally, we feel the need to move forward on what we believe, what is true for us. Jupiter in Aries is not afraid to put themselves out there, for sure. But it won't be an easy ride of it today, putting yourself out there, just as an aside. But I'll talk about that shortly. We do have the moon make a conjunction to Venus. Of course, Venus in Cancer. And it's a meeting of the feminine mind, so to speak. Venus is what we value, what we love. It's one of the few planetary archetypes that is female. That's Venus and the moon. And unless you add the asteroids, those are the only gals in town, right? I'm not going to talk about the asteroids because it's just too complex, but there are a lot more women in town than maybe even the guys know. The conjunction of the moon and Venus is a one in which our feelings and what's important to us, our values, sort of line up. And in Cancer, our values are family, children, security, nurturance, all the things that are necessary for us to live, not necessarily glorious lives, but, the things we need to live, period. And towards the end of the day, the moon makes a sextile to Mars, and that opens the lines of communication, and we perhaps get what we are asking for, or at least know what we need. We also have a Mercury make a square to Mars today. The Mercury-Mars squares can create crisis. There can be arguments with this. We have Mars in Taurus, slow and steady wins the race, Taurus, and we have Mercury in Leo, not afraid to make a fuss, not afraid to speak up. And so when two planets are in relationship to each other, the planet that moves slower, in this case Mars, tends to be the one who sort of sits back while the other planet takes the lead. And the lead here is Mercury. So the mind takes the lead over action to a certain extent, but it can be crisis producing. So we can find ourselves maybe asking questions that cause people to answer us in a less than pleasant way, I guess we could say. But there can be arguments with this energy, but it's a part of the process of utilizing the mind to get your needs met, really, to get your will done, Mars. So don't expect everybody would agree with you today. Everybody has their own agenda for sure. It can be helpful though, because this energy does ultimately build the foundations for getting your needs met. So generally a good day, if not an argumentative day. And of course, we're in the dark of the moon. We have the new moon coming up on, Thursday, the 28th. And so this is a time of wrapping things up to a certain extent. So we can move into a new cycle once we have that new moon in Leo, which is uber powerful. If anybody wants to check that out, I did Moon Shadows with Ona yesterday. It went out last night. And if you can get past the first 2 minutes of us talking about smelly things. The rest of it is pretty good and not gross at all. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes the conversation takes us places. All right, have yourself a wonderful day. Be aware that people aren't going to necessarily be in the best of moods, but only because they feel the need to get their point across. And try not to take anything too personally, because most people's points are about them, not about you. But we tend to project, right? It's just a thing we do. All right, guys, have yourself a wonderful day. Like and subscribe, and I will see you again tomorrow. It's a beautiful morning here. It's finally, the humidity is broken, but the sun is coming up now, so it's going to get hot. So I'm going to enjoy it while it's not too hot, and see you again tomorrow. Take care. Namaste.